First dates can be fun. For some people, they can be terrifying. For some people, they can be an adventure. And for some people, they can be like a job interview. You know, it all comes down to the beliefs that we have. But in this video, I'm going to give you the 3 things that you should completely avoid on a first date, which I find I think they should be obvious, but the fact that, you know, a lot of people that I have to make this video, this is a thing. If you're a serial dater, if you're a veteran, this is the kind of thing that you're going to maybe like have some good revision on. If you're new to the dating world, or if you're maybe shy or things like that, this is the kind of thing that you're going to realize, oh wait, maybe I've been doing this. Maybe this has gotten in the way. These are things that I really feel like should be extremely avoided at all costs. You know, when we get into it, you're going to realize this because I'll explain it a bit more. But they are things that, you know, maybe some people don't necessarily think about. They're almost like common sense blunders that really, at the end of the day, this is about outer love. This is about how you express your love. And it's more importantly, like to basically showcase you in the best way possible. You know, this is not about manipulating the other person. This is not about, you know, changing who you are to suit them, because Lord knows I don't really care about that kind of stuff. Like, if I have to change you to get someone else, like to get you into the relationship that you want, then I don't want to work with you, because we don't have to change you. We just have to showcase you in the best possible way. It's the same way you can change your words, you can change your thoughts, all these things. It's just about presenting you in the best possible way. So the first thing that you should completely avoid on the first date, no matter what, is do not call him a friend. If he is more than a friend, or if you're looking for him to be more than a friend, then you can keep your language vague at the very least. Call it a hangout if you're too afraid to call it a date. But whatever you do, especially to him, even to other people, don't call him a friend. Now, what I find is a lot of people use the friend frame. They say, oh, he's my friend, maybe put him in quotation marks and stuff like that, because they're shy to express themselves. Maybe they're too shy because they don't want to admit that they maybe like the person. You know, somewhere along the way, someone got it in their minds that if you like someone, you shouldn't tell them, because that was an easier way not to get rejected. Honestly, it's not the best way. It doesn't really help a lot of people. So instead, you know, just think of it as you're getting to know someone. You know, it's like they're a potential. They're not a friend. They're not anything, because the moment you call them a friend, especially to their face, by the way, the guy's going to think, oh, she doesn't like me, I should just move on. And when you call him a friend to your own mind, this is the inner love part of it, by the way. When you call him a friend to your own mind, what's going to happen is you're going to train yourself to think, oh, he's just a friend. You know, there's nothing really on the line anyway, and you're not even going to try. This is a huge thing that I find. A lot of times when people contact me with problems, you know, they say, oh, I have a problem with my friend. And I'm like, is he a friend? Is he not? And we have to get really clear on that. And then they find the fact that they kept treating him like a friend, the fact that they kept doing what friends do, because as a rule, if you can do it with a mate, then it's not a date. You know, maybe you would have drinks with someone, but you probably wouldn't want to kiss them afterwards. So that's a really good rule to have. But the fact that they had it in their mind that it was only friends because they didn't want to lose anything means that there was nothing to gain, and they never tried. Now, the second thing that you must avoid on the first date is not touching them. If you want to maybe kiss him at the end, if you want to create an amazing connection, you have to touch him. And I don't mean by like grab his dick or things like that. What I'm talking is, it's like simple touch on the arm, or simple just touch on the shoulder, things like that. There are non-sexual locations, by the way. Things, for example, like shoulders, things, maybe a bit of the forearm, a little bit, not chest. A little bit of leg, if you, like, just for a second is okay. Like, put your hand on his leg, for example, just for a second. But it's these things that create connection. It's about endorphins, because when you touch someone, they have an endorphin rush. You know, it's a sense of connection that you feel with that person. Let me ask you this. What's the difference between a friend and a boyfriend, or a friend and a potential boyfriend, or a friend and a potential lover? The friend you just have an emotional connection with. The potential lover or the boyfriend you also have chemistry with. There is a difference. Most people don't realize that. They feel like there is just chemistry and that means equal instant connection. Or if they have an instant connection, that means there's going to be chemistry as well. This is a massive fallacy, because what happens is if you don't touch the person, you're just going down that friendship path. And if you just want on down that friendship path, then at the end of the date, or maybe halfway through, maybe you want to kiss him, it's going to be like a shotgun to the face because he's not used to you. So it's like this ability to touch someone and just to allow them to feel comfortable in your space and their space, is really good. And if you're the kind of person, I can hear you psychically say now, but I'm not a touchy person. Look, you don't have to be a touchy person to touch someone. All you need to do, if there's one thing you can practice right now, is touching someone maybe on the shoulder every time you make a really, a positive point. Like, that's so funny that you did that, or I'm really glad that you did that, or hey, I've got something to tell you. In the same way that when you say someone's name, it gets their attention, when you touch them, they give you their attention. So it is to be used like this, and the more you have their attention, the more they might like you as well. The last thing to avoid on a date is to make it quick, because more often than not, when you want to get to know someone, you actually don't really want to have plans afterwards. Not because you want to have a great night, for example, wink, but it is because you want to give it the room it needs. It's like the rest of your life, you rush it because you've got to go to work, then you've got to do this, then you've got to meet your friends, then you've got to cook food, then you've got to watch the show. When it comes to dating, when it comes to getting to know someone, the more time, the better. So really, in the past, I've made videos about date ideas and how to structure a date. Really, you should start it at the end of the day, because that way you have that indefinite time to spend together. Because truly, if you have one adventure, you can have another adventure and it can keep going. And if you make it really quick, especially if you make it like a coffee date, remember the rule, if you can do it with a mate, then it's not a date. Then you're going to basically self-sabotage it. And he's going to feel there's no connection, not because there isn't a connection or not because there isn't chemistry, but just because there wasn't the space it needs to grow. Because, for example, if you cook a cake, right? If you make this incredible cake and you put it in the oven and you turn the heat on, you're not going to make a good cake. These are the things like the ingredients. These are the things that actually cook the cake, for example. These are the things that just make it work and give it the space so that way you can be the most comfortable you and just do what you need to do, which is just connect with someone new. And then maybe at the end of the day, you can get your kiss goodnight. So if you did like this video, make sure to leave a like, because if you did, then I like you. And make sure to subscribe, because if you don't, I'm doing the next video topless. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye.